I'm Jeff Stone from The Great Race, and we're continuing our series of how-to videos. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to start from a standing start at the first sign of the day on the Great Race. Now, each car, as you know, will be assigned a number. You'll draw a number the day before, and that's your start position. And let's say you start as number 27. And this start of the day I'm talking about is not the start at the hotel. Most days the start at the hotel will be at 8 o'clock plus your start order. So in this example we're talking about number 27. So an 8 o'clock start, 8:27 then would be your start time. But you then will do the tire warm up and the calibration before the actual scoring starts for the day. There will be a sign that is designated as the starting location for every car for that day. And if the start time, for example, at that sign is 9:05 and we're car number 27, then our start time at that sign then becomes 9:32. That's the start time of 9:05 plus 27 positions, which is 27 minutes for a start time of 9:32. Now let's say the start speed is 30 miles an hour. Obviously at that sign, if you're sitting at that sign and ready to go at 9:32, you cannot instantaneously get from 0 to 30 miles an hour. Now this goes back to your performance chart that you should have done prior to coming to the Great Race. Now as an example of how to make that performance chart, just real quickly, all you have to do back home is find two objects. It could be 2 telephone poles or 2 signs or 2 cones you put out. And you put those any distance apart. And let's say and then you run each speed through those signs. Let's call it telephone poles. Let's say back home that it took you 35 seconds to run at 30 miles an hour between those 2 telephone poles. You started your stopwatch at the first pole, you held 30 miles an hour all the way through, and you clicked it off at the second pole, and that's 35 seconds. Now you go back at that same speed, and instead of driving straight through those 2 poles, you stop at the first pole, have your stopwatch ready, you tell the driver to go, and as soon as he goes, you start the stopwatch. When you pass the second pole, you stop the stopwatch. Now a minute ago, when you drove straight through, you did it in 35 seconds. Now starting from the standstill, let's say it took 38 seconds. What does that tell you? That tells you that it takes you 3 seconds to get to speed from 30 miles an hour. Now let's fast forward back to Great Race Day, and we're starting at this specific sign we're talking about. This is the start of the day. 9:05 start time, car number 27. 9:32 is your start time, and the start speed's 30 miles an hour. Now we know it takes 3 seconds to get from 0 to 30 miles an hour. So we're going to start at that sign 3 seconds early to make us on time. So now we're going to start at 9:31 and 57 seconds. What will happen is the car in front of you will have left a minute early before you. As soon as they leave, you pull up to that start sign with the clock running, telling the driver, when I do a countdown, you're going to go to 30 miles an hour. And you're watching your clock, and as it's 9:31 and 30 seconds, you tell the driver, all right, we're going to be going in about 25 seconds. And you start to give them a countdown, and that countdown should finish at 9:31 and 57 seconds, so that you're already going and at speed and on time when 9:32, your actual start time, arrives. Now, it's not as complicated as all that sounds. If you have any other questions or any more detail, you feel free to call me at 800-989-7223, or you can email me at jeff@greatrace.com. Thanks.